Hello guys, Glaze here. In this video today, we're going to be breaking down why support players are underrated compared to a lot of other players on different teams. Support players, in my opinion, have one of the most important roles on every team there currently is at a tier 1 level, being willing to sacrifice their own HLTV rating in order to get their team a win. We're going to take a look at Inter's here today, guys, and his stats compared to the HLTV score and the Leetify score. As you can see, at the end of IEM Cologne, he had an overall rating of 0.89 on HLTV. In the Leetify ranking system, however, it benchmarks the average player between the score of minus 0.34 and plus 3.04. Inter's had a minus 0.28 Leetify rating at the ESL Cologne tournament, which is almost right in the middle at 37 places out of the 75 players that got analysed at this event, and a 0.89 HLTV 2.0 rating, which puts him at the place of 64th out of all the players. So you can already see how the Leetify ranking system takes into account how supportive players impact the team's performance in CSGO. We're gonna watch right now and try to understand why you shouldn't sleep on a great support player like Inter's here, and really understand the impact and space that they create for their team. Here are some clips coming up for you that I'm going to show you of Inter's and how he plays the support role for Gambit on the CT side. As you can see, he's not trying to get kills, when he doesn't need to. He's only playing these positions because he has to set up his team for success. He's very disciplined about extending and making a mistake, really playing for the win in every round you see him in. Just here you can see him in pit, and you can just see how disciplined he is. Even after Axel dies and he knows there's only one player left on short, he just doesn't budge. He's just sitting here because he knows that he is aware of his position, so he's just not giving up any opportunity for him to succeed, and he's really playing disciplined for the win. You'll notice in a lot of these clips here that we're going to be watching, the way that he is set up around of his teammates, he is never in a good position to succeed in a sense. He takes this role so his teammates can have an easier time to create an impact with frags and whatever else they need to do. The HLTV rating only really cares about the KDA of a player and how many deaths per round this player gets. It doesn't take into account if their eco kills or utility damage, or if the player who dies in entry is traded at all. This is why the Leetify rating is great for this, because it can really show the impact of a player without needing for this player to get kills so much. That is why the support players will get a lot higher rating through this system, because they'll be noticed for everything else they do and not just the kills. A simple clip here we're going to be seeing with Inter's playing bottom banana on T side. He has to take this position to allow for the rest of his team to have the space and work with the rest of the map. This isn't obviously a great position you want to play. It's not a very comfortable spot you really want to be playing either. But someone from every team has to do this to allow for the rest of their team to succeed and be in a comfortable position to succeed. So unfortunately right here, Inter's does go down to the banana push, but there's no really other place he could be because of his role and how he's allowing for his team to work the map. Here is another clip of Inter's throwing all the utility for the A execute for Gambit here, taking quite an unfavourable duel with a Galil onto this long player and just straight up losing it. However, he creates the space for his team to finish on the site and get the win. In other situations, we're going to see Inter's going with the rest of his team. He isn't always going to be the one in awful positions not getting the frags, but he is the last entry in this clip, throwing utility for his team and getting the bomb down. He is only playing for the win here. If you notice that, he's not going for the frags. His team are going and getting the frags, He's just staying alive and being there if they need him. He's like a backup plan if the main force of Gambit fails. But because of the amount of firepower they have on this Gambit side, the odds of them needing this player to step up and frag are pretty slim. But Inter's has always been great in clutch situations and afterplants. He's always been that solid player you can always rely on. I really do want to focus on more of the T side than the CT side when we're looking at support players. Based purely on the fact, as you can see right here, Inter's CT side on average is 0.94 HLTV. And remember guys, HLTV rating is mostly based on KD, with some other factors thrown in like deaths per round for example. It doesn't take into account the context of the kills and the impact a player has on winning the round like Leetify rating does. So as you can see here on the T side, he has a 0.77 HLTV rating, meaning he is dying a lot of the time and not getting a lot of kills. That doesn't mean he's not doing his job. He is doing a great job in every round you see him. He is doing and creating such solid impact for the Gambit's T side. He is always creating the space needed for his team to get out and trade kills for him. He's always throwing the utility his team needs, and he's always that teammate you can rely on to deliver if needed, if he's put in a great position. Another thing I noticed with the Leetify system over the HLTV system is that it more tracks if you're making mistakes a lot more than the HLTV system does. Because if you're dying to an eco, it will punish you a lot more in the point system than if you don't. That's why I feel support players like Inters or, there's loads of other support players. You got Sanji, Olof, you got Perfecto, all these great names of support players that we all know and love. They will not have a low rating. Support players make one of the least mistakes in their entire team. I can say that across almost every tier 1 team, support players make the least mistakes overall. They're just very well-rounded, smart players who make the right decisions, and it's good that Leetify reward them through this as well and show them they're doing better, because HLTV doesn't with their 0.8 ratings, whatever it is, just based on their KD. This actually shows they are playing good CS because they're not dying when they shouldn't be, and they're not greeding for kills when they shouldn't be, and they're actually supporting their team correctly, positioning correctly, doing damage. It's based on actually if you're doing damage to the enemy and helping getting kills rather than if you're finishing off the kill. It's really, really helping your team so you can know if you need to improve in certain areas. This is a great system for players who are trying to improve individual and also team play as well, because you can look at this and from a role you feel you might not be able to learn a lot through a HLTV system rating, you could learn a lot from this based on the fact you can really get an in-depth understanding of where you can help your team more, and in certain situations if you're dying where you shouldn't be, because if the enemy's on a deagle buy or a full eco, you shouldn't be dying to that. Unless you're taking stupid duels where you shouldn't be taking duels. Do you understand? So it's a better system because it shows more places you've gone wrong and also where you can improve based on your utility or if you're not trading quick enough. All of these different things, there's a million things you can do with this system, and I hope you check it out and actually see what you can do for yourself, because it is a fantastic way to improve your individual skill.
As you can see here, guys, this is Inters' utility page on Leetify that you can check out. As you can see, he has great flashbang duration and also great smokes that stop any CT pushes. Some things he could potentially work on is the enemies flashed per flashbang. However, I feel at a very high and top tier pro level, they use flashes to almost clear every corner and take control of every area of the map, even when a CT isn't in that area. So the enemies flash per flashbang, I wouldn't really think about too much, but the flash blind duration is insane, and also the unused utility on def. You never want to be wasting utility, obviously, and also having great smokes to stop CT pushes. As always, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video I just made on Inter's Leetify stats and the new system they're introducing. I hope you guys enjoyed it very, very much, and I hope you can use this for yourself and actually show and prove to yourself that you're doing a great job in whatever role you are doing. If you are a support player, I highly recommend you getting this, because it is a great way to see if you're positioning correctly and if you're actually helping your team with the new rating. Like and subscribe if you're new to not missing out on any future content. And as always, guys, I will speak to you very, very soon.